I bet you didn't know navigating today's world could be this simple. With Dunya, it can be. Greetings of peace to you all. I'm Daryl Abdullah Kirk, also known as Abdullah Hamza. My book, Dunya, A Guide for Muslims in Today's World, is your practical companion for navigating the complexities of modern life. Drawing from the Quran and the authentic Sunnah, it offers real-world insights on Islamic creed, contemporary issues, and maintaining your values. Discover how to strengthen your relationship with Allah, balance your worldly and religious commitments, and find peace in acts of devotion. Whether you're a lifelong Muslim or newly embracing the faith, Dunya empowers you to overcome challenges and contribute positively to society. Join countless others who have found clarity and inspiration in these pages. Grab your copy today from Amazon and add Dunya on your bookshelves and libraries.
In Volume 1, we covered a wide range of themes: the unifying power of belief, the conflict it can breed, humanity's search for meaning, the moral compass religions provide, and how faith adapts to a changing world. In this installment, we're taking one question from that discussion and drilling down. Are all religions simply different roads to the same ultimate source? Which traditions affirm that idea, and why? Which major faiths reject it, and what are their reasons? Every person is born into a particular culture, absorbing the customs and convictions of parents and community, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, or any of countless others. Later, when we step into the wider world, we encounter a mosaic of beliefs. Friends or co-workers may say, "Relax, every path leads to the same destination, just be a good person." That claim can feel comforting, but it also raises hard questions. If doctrines contradict one another, can they all be true? Can logical opposites share the same reality? If religion does point to ultimate truth, doesn't there have to be a single accurate way? Let's set assumptions aside, examine the full landscape, and weigh the arguments honestly. The idea that all religions are different paths leading to the same ultimate reality, truth, or good, often referred to as religious pluralism or perennialism, has become increasingly prominent in certain philosophical traditions, world religions, and especially in today's modern spiritual movements. This perspective holds that no single tradition possesses a monopoly on spiritual truth, and that all sincere religious paths ultimately lead to the same divine source or goal. However, it's important to recognize that most major world religions do not officially teach this doctrine. Rather, religious pluralism is usually found in specific subsets, reform movements, or among individual thinkers within these broader traditions. Hinduism, especially Advaita Vedanta and Neo-Vedanta. Hinduism is a diverse family of traditions, not a single monolithic religion. Within it, some schools, particularly Advaita Vedanta, teach that the ultimate reality is Brahman, an all-encompassing, formless, transcendent oneness. According to this view, all sincere spiritual paths, regardless of religious label, ultimately lead to realization of this oneness. The Rig Veda famously states, "Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti." Truth is one, the wise call it by many names. This verse is often quoted to suggest that while rituals, deities, and doctrines may differ, the underlying reality is the same. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Neo-Vedanta figures like Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa popularized religious pluralism. Ramakrishna practiced Christianity, Islam, and various Hindu paths, concluding that all major religions lead to the same God. Vivekananda, speaking at the 1893 Parliament of the World's Religions, famously likened religions to rivers flowing into the same ocean. Many modern Hindus, especially in cosmopolitan and diaspora contexts, embrace this pluralism and see no conflict in visiting temples, churches, mosques, or other sacred spaces. The Baha'i faith, founded in 19th century Persia, Iran, is perhaps the clearest example of a religion whose official doctrine is religious pluralism. Baha'i writings teach that God has sent a series of prophets, or manifestations, including Moses, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and Baha'u'llah, to different cultures and times, all revealing the same essential spiritual truths suited to their era. As Baha'u'llah wrote, "The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens." The faith emphasizes the unity of all religions and the progressive revelation of spiritual truth. Baha'is gather in diverse communities, welcome people of all backgrounds, and often host interfaith events. They believe religious conflict arises from human misunderstanding, not divine will. Sikhism. Founded in Punjab in the late 15th century, Sikhism stresses the oneness of God and the equality of all people. While Sikhism doesn't explicitly teach that all religions are the same, it does assert that the divine is beyond human labels, and that sincere devotion in any form is accepted by God. The Guru Granth Sahib, Sikh scripture, includes writings from Hindu and Muslim saints, alongside Sikh gurus, and states, "There is no Hindu, there is no Muslim, so whose path shall I follow? I shall follow God's path." The Sikh gurus promoted respect for all faiths and condemned forced conversion. Unitarian Universalism is a modern, non-creedal spiritual movement that explicitly teaches the acceptance of all faiths as valid paths to truth. Though it began as a Christian movement, Unitarian Universalist has evolved into a pluralistic faith community. Unitarian Universalist affirm a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Members may identify as Christian, Buddhist, pagan, atheist, or with no religion at all. Universalism and the perennial philosophy. The perennial philosophy, Philosophia perennis, is a philosophical idea that all of the world's religious traditions share a single, metaphysical truth or origin. Aldous Huxley popularized the term in his 1945 book, The Perennial Philosophy, arguing that mystics across cultures report similar experiences. Thinkers like Frithjof Schuon and Huston Smith further advanced this view. Followers of perennialism often study multiple religions and focus on mystical or esoteric teachings. Modern New Age and interfaith movements. The New Age movement and many interfaith organizations, such as the Parliament of the World's Religions, embrace the idea that all religions are valid, each offering partial truths or complementary perspectives. New Age practitioners frequently combine practices from multiple religions: yoga, meditation, tarot, shamanism. Interfaith groups try to foster respect, dialogue, and joint action among people of different faiths. It is important to note that mainstream Christianity, especially evangelical and Catholic, Islam, outside of Sufism and some progressive circles, and Orthodox Judaism generally do not teach that all religions are valid paths. Instead, they claim exclusive or final truth. Buddhism is more complex. While usually tolerant, it does not typically teach that all religions are equal paths to enlightenment, but rather offers its own unique path, the Noble Eightfold Path. Nevertheless, many of the world's largest and most influential religions, especially in their orthodox or traditional forms, explicitly teach that their path is the only true way to God, salvation, or ultimate truth. This perspective is called religious exclusivism. Orthodox and evangelical Christianity. Most traditional forms of Christianity, especially Catholicism, Eastern Orthodoxy, and evangelical Protestantism, hold that salvation and true knowledge of God are found exclusively through Jesus Christ, their scriptural basis. John 14:6. Jesus said, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Acts 4:12. Salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. Their doctrinal statements for this: Catholic Church, the Second Vatican Council's document Lumen Gentium, teaches that the fullness of salvation is found only in the Catholic Church, although elements of truth can exist outside. Evangelical Protestants emphasize sola fide, faith alone in Christ, and often teach that those who reject Christ are lost. Eastern Orthodoxy teaches that the Orthodox Church is the true church established by Christ and the Apostles. Mainstream Islam. Islam teaches that the Quran is the final, complete revelation of God, and that following Islam is the only true path to salvation. Allah states in the Quran, interpretation of its meaning. Surah Ali Imran, Ayah 85. And whoever desires other than Islam as religion, never will it be accepted from him, and he in the hereafter will be among the losers. Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 3. This day I have perfected for you your religion, and completed my favor upon you, and have approved for you Islam as religion. Surah At-Tawbah, Ayah 33. It is he who has sent his messenger with guidance and the religion of truth to manifest it over all religion. Doctrinal statements. Tawheed, the absolute oneness of God, and the finality of Muhammad's prophethood. Orthodox Sunni and Shia Islam. While recognizing Jews and Christians as people of the book, Orthodox beliefs holds that salvation, in the fullest sense, is for Muslims, and that the Quran supersedes previous scriptures. Dawah, inviting others to Islam, is a religious duty. Apostasy, leaving Islam, is considered a grave sin. Orthodox Judaism. Judaism is traditionally exclusive in the sense that it regards the Jewish people as uniquely chosen by God to keep the covenant, and that the Torah is God's true and only revelation to Israel. Their scriptural basis, Deuteronomy 7:6. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be his people, his treasured possession. Exodus 19:5-6. Now then, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be my own possession among all the peoples. Doctrinal statements. Judaism does not teach that non-Jews must convert to Judaism to be saved in the afterlife, but it does teach that the fullness of God's will is expressed only in the Torah given to Israel. While righteous Gentiles, keeping the 7 laws of Noah, have a place in the world to come, only Jews are bound by and able to fulfill the 613 commandments of the Torah. Judaism generally does not seek converts and is not missionary, but is highly exclusive regarding covenant and religious law. Some forms of Buddhism. While Buddhism is often seen as tolerant, some schools, especially in traditional Theravada and certain Mahayana doctrines, regard the Buddha's teachings as the only true path to liberation. Their scriptural basis. Dhammapada 273. The path is the eightfold path, there is no other, for the purification of insight. Doctrinal statements. Traditional Theravada Buddhism teaches that only through following the Buddha's path can one achieve nirvana. Mahayana traditions sometimes teach that only the Mahayana path, or even only a particular school, such as Pure Land or Nichiren Buddhism, leads to ultimate liberation. While Buddhism rarely persecutes other faiths, its soteriology, doctrine of salvation, is generally exclusive to its teachings. Certain sects of other religions. Other examples of exclusivist religious groups include Jehovah's Witnesses, teach that only members of their faith will survive Armageddon and be saved. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, teaches that only through the restored priesthood authority is full salvation possible, though they allow for posthumous conversion. Some Hindu sects. While many Hindus are pluralistic, certain conservative Vaishnavite or Shaivite groups assert that only devotion to their particular deity leads to liberation. Certain new religious movements. Some claim exclusive access to truth or salvation, for example, some fundamentalist groups, cults, and new sects. As we can clearly see, religious exclusivism is a core feature of many of the world's major religions and has shaped the history of missionary activity, interreligious conflict, and the boundaries of religious communities. The belief that only our way is true is most explicit in Orthodox Christianity, mainstream Islam, and Orthodox Judaism, but also exists in certain branches of Buddhism, Hinduism, and numerous new religious movements. While the modern world has seen the rise of more pluralistic interpretations, the majority of religious adherents globally belong to traditions that see their path as uniquely true and necessary for salvation or ultimate fulfillment.
Okay, let me see here.
So, which path is the best? Should we view all religions as valid paths to the ultimate truth, or should we focus exclusively on one? If we choose exclusivity, which religion represents the truth, if any do at all? In today's globalized, interconnected world, the idea that all religions are different paths leading to the same destination is both attractive and comforting. It promises harmony, acceptance, and a sense of fairness. Pluralism asserts that it doesn't matter which faith you follow, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, or any other, because all sincere seekers are ultimately heading in the same direction, and that each of these faiths is good for humanity. This vision of unity is especially appealing in a world that has been scarred by religious conflict. It offers a hope for peace, mutual respect, and a belief that goodness is not monopolized by any one tradition. On the surface, it seems to be the most just and humane approach to religion in a diverse society. However, as inviting as this perspective may be, a closer examination reveals several critical problems, philosophical, practical, and even spiritual, with the idea that all religions are different paths to the same truth. Logical contradictions. Religions make fundamentally different and often mutually exclusive claims about the nature of God, the universe, salvation, and moral law. Christianity claims God is a trinity. Islam insists God is absolutely one and not triune. Hinduism describes many gods and ultimate reality as impersonal Brahman, while Buddhism, in many forms, denies a creator god altogether. Christianity says salvation is through faith in Christ, Islam through submission to Allah's will, Hinduism through karma and rebirth, Buddhism through enlightenment and cessation of desire. These are not simply different routes up the same mountain, they are different mountains entirely. Contradictory claims exist about heaven, hell, reincarnation, nirvana, or even the existence of an afterlife. To claim all religions are equally true is to say that mutually exclusive truths can both be correct, a logical impossibility. If all religions are true, then none can claim a coherent, distinctive message. This creates confusion at several levels. If there is no true way, how should an individual choose a path? If all paths are equally valid, why choose at all? This can lead to apathy, syncretism, or a shallow engagement with any faith. Pluralism can foster a sense of relativism. Nothing is really true, so nothing matters. This undermines the moral and social cohesion that shared beliefs provide. Instead of unity, it can actually create greater confusion and a lack of direction. If all claims are equally true, then truth itself becomes meaningless. There can be no real dialogue or honest seeking, only a polite silence about real differences. Divine incoherence. If we assume a creator who wants to communicate with humanity, why would that creator send radically different, even contradictory messages to different peoples? Would a wise and loving creator intentionally sow confusion, division, and disagreement among sincere seekers? A creator desiring to be known would logically provide a clear, consistent message that could be recognized and followed, not a cacophony of conflicting messages. Pluralism can actually be less fair, because it leaves people uncertain, unable to know what the creator truly wants from them. Secular reasoning, the need for objective truth. Even from a secular, non-religious standpoint, the idea that all claims are equally true collapses upon scrutiny. In science, not all theories are equally valid. The theory that the Earth is round and the theory that it is flat cannot both be true. We seek evidence, consistency, and coherence. Similarly, if there is a spiritual reality, it is not subject to our preferences or opinions. There is either a God or there isn't. There is either an afterlife or not. There is either one way or many, but not both at the same time. Why there must be one truth? Given these problems, it is far more reasonable, both logically and practically, to conclude that there must be one truth about the nature of God, the path to salvation, and the purpose of life. This is not to say that all religions are equally false, but that they cannot all be equally and ultimately true. A single truth provides a basis for unity. It gives individuals and societies a firm foundation, a coherent worldview, and a clear direction. It allows for genuine dialogue, where differences are not glossed over, but engaged with honestly. If there is a creator, it makes sense that he would reveal a clear, consistent message to his creation, not multiple contradictory systems. The confusion and multiplicity we see in religion are better explained not by divine design but by human alteration. History shows that religious diversity has often arisen not from divine revelation, but from human reinterpretation, cultural adaptation, and even deliberate distortion. Over generations, people have altered, added to, or subtracted from the original message. Cultural preferences, political interests, and personal desires have shaped religious traditions, leading to divergence and confusion. This suggests that the Creator originally revealed one belief system, but humanity has, over time, changed and multiplied those teachings, creating the present landscape of religious diversity. In law, science, and morality, we recognize the need for objective standards, not endless relativism. Similarly, in spiritual matters, it is far more rational to seek the one true message, not to settle for comforting but incoherent pluralism. While the desire for harmony among faiths is understandable, true unity and peace cannot be built on the shaky foundation of contradictory truths. There must be one truth, a foundation given by the Creator, uncorrupted and clear. The challenge is not to pretend all paths lead to the same place, but to seek, find, and follow the path that does. In Volume 3, we will explore what that one truth is, how it can be recognized, and what it means for humanity.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك يا منان يا ديان يا غفور يا ودود يا رحمن يا رحيم لك الحمد يا شريك